In a remote village called Willowbrook, there lived a humble farmer named David. He shared a simple life with his wife, Clara, their son Liam, and their daughter Mia. David was known for his hard work and determination, but one fateful day while working in the fields, he suddenly felt lightheaded and collapsed. The fall left him severely injured, unable to work and provide for his family. With David as the only breadwinner, the family quickly fell into financial distress. One evening, as they sat in their dimly lit home, Clara spoke up. "David, I've been thinking. I can't sit here and do nothing while we struggle like this. We barely have any food left, and I must do something to help." David, guilt-ridden, replied, "Clara, this is all my fault. If I hadn't gotten hurt, you wouldn't have to go through this. I should be the one providing for our family." Clara gently reassured him, "Don't blame yourself, David. You've done so much for us already. You'll get better soon, I'm sure of it. For now, let me do my part to support our family." Determined to make a difference, Clara ventured out into the village in search of work. She approached a large house and knocked on the door. A woman named Eleanor answered, her expression curious. Clara introduced herself and explained her situation, asking if Eleanor had any work for her. Eleanor considered the request and said, "I need someone to help with cleaning and washing. I can pay you $50 a month, but not more." Clara nodded earnestly. "Thank you, ma'am. That's more than enough. I promise I won't disappoint you." Thus began Clara's journey as a household worker. She took up similar jobs in other homes, working long hours each day. Though her earnings were modest, she managed to scrape by. Clara would often bring home leftover food from the houses she worked in, carefully inspecting it and saving the edible portions for her family. To them, what others considered waste was a blessing that kept them from starving. Despite the hardships, Clara never lost hope. Over time, her employers noticed her diligence and began to trust her. Eleanor, in particular, grew fond of Clara and occasionally offered her leftover food. For Clara and her family, this kindness meant the world. As the months passed, David slowly regained some strength. Although he wasn't fully recovered, he could now sit up and spend time with Liam and Maya, telling them stories and keeping their spirits high. Meanwhile, Clara continued her work, often braving harsh weather conditions. One day, heavy rain soaked her to the skin as she rushed from one house to another. By the time she reached Eleanor's home, her clothes were dripping wet. Eleanor noticed Clara's discomfort and said, "Clara, you're drenched. If you don't change, you'll catch a cold. Let me give you some dry clothes." Clara shook her head with a grateful smile. "Thank you, ma'am, but I'm fine. I can't trouble you like that." Eleanor insisted, but eventually relented when Clara began her chores. Before Clara left, Eleanor handed her a bag containing food and an umbrella. "This is for you and your family," Eleanor said kindly. "The umbrella will help keep you dry." Clara's eyes welled up with tears. "Thank you so much, ma'am. This means so much to me." Clara returned home that evening with the food and umbrella, greeted by the eager faces of Liam and Mia. As she shared the food with her family, their joy was palpable. Unbeknownst to Clara, Eleanor had followed her home, curious about her life. From the window, Eleanor saw the humble conditions Clara's family lived in. She noticed David resting on a makeshift bed, and the children happily enjoying the meal their mother had brought home. Overwhelmed with emotion, Eleanor stepped inside and said, "Clara, why didn't you tell me about your struggles? You've been going through so much, yet you never said a word." Clara looked down, hesitant. "I didn't want to burden you or make you feel sorry for us." Eleanor placed a comforting hand on Clara's shoulder. "You should have told me. From now on, I'll make sure your husband gets the best medical treatment and your children receive an education. You've worked so hard, Clara, and it's time someone helped you." Clara's eyes filled with tears of gratitude. "You're like a sister to me, Eleanor. I can't thank you enough for your kindness." Eleanor hugged Clara warmly, promising to support the family in every way possible. True to her word, she arranged for David's treatment at a well-regarded hospital, where he eventually made a full recovery. With Eleanor's help, Liam and Mia began attending school, and the family's life slowly improved. This story reminds us of the silent struggles many laborers endure daily. It teaches us to value all forms of work, share what we can, and never waste food, as even the smallest act of kindness can transform lives. So believe, grow, and inspire. Nothing can stop you. This story is to fuel your day. Thank you so much for watching, and stay blessed.